everybody, it's EK from EK Gourmet Designs, and I am sneaking in today with a fun digital Copic coloring video using the magic pile of Crete from Oddball Art. Halloween is around the corner, which means it's time to start coloring Halloween things. It's my favorite time of year. I like coloring Halloween images, maybe because you get to be darker and spookier and a little bit creepy, and every other holiday is like, oh, precious. Yeah, this is not. I'm loving this image. There's such a trend right now of the crowd peeking forward, and the fact that these aren't. I guess they're cute. They are cute. They're adorable. But the little creeps are not necessarily like obviously cute. Maybe that's the phrase we want. So I decided that I was going to color them in traditional Halloween colors to make it clearly a Halloween card. So I pulled out orange, lime green, and purple, plus a little black. And if anybody knows why these colors became your traditional Halloween colors, I'd love to know. Who made, like, I get the orange pumpkins, got it. The other two, if anybody has, like, history on it, share. But I decided to go with all little orange, green, and purple guys, plus a couple black thrown in just because of the spacing. I knew I was going to need it. And when I started this, I was like, oh, I'll just individually color it like I normally do. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, I should probably plan out which color is going to be which. And you'll notice here I stopped fully coloring them in and just start giving them all dots of color so I know who's what. Because when you're dealing with a pile of this much stuff, everything kind of starts blending together. And I was afraid if I didn't be like, oh, these are these colors, I would make a mistake. And in fact, I kind of made one. I put two orange in front of each other, and in the end it worked out fine. But for a moment you'd see me pause going, oh no. There's no fancy coloring going on at the moment. I'm literally just filling these in with their base color. Yeah, nothing special. Just some basic everyday coloring. I hope this year, I think last year I started a little series on Halloween cards. It's August 28th. I know, there are going to be so many people who are mad that it's August and I'm doing like a clearly Halloween card. But it's my favorite time of year, and I'm hoping to get one video out a week on just Halloween cards, whatever I fancy. No rhyme or reason. But today is the start of it. Today is also, August 28th is also the very first day for school for my kids. So it's a celebration in itself. It's a little bit of a party in my house because I'm working at home alone for the first time in 2.5 months, and it's glorious and quiet. So for all of you parents out there whose kids are going back to school, congratulations. I hope you survive summer. I hope you survive school. I hope your kids have great first days if today is also their first day. For those of you who are sad your kids have gone to school, it gets easier. You get more excited every year. Yeah, I got coloring going on. Now that I have the basic colors laid down, I go in and add some really, really basic dimensional shading. I knew from the beginning of this I was going to backlight the guys. I was going to put the light, an eerie light coming at you behind the creeps, so that their whole front was basically in shadow. So where I normally would spend quite some time really worrying about my depth and dimension and my shading, not so much here, because I knew even after I got everything colored in, I was going to take some gray markers and add gray on top of all of this coloring. So my precision coloring didn't matter as much. I'll warn you, when we get to the very important part of gray shading on top of the creeps, I lost the video. I don't know where it is. I was recording this in the middle of the night. I have this weird problem. Sometimes I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm up for the day, so I go downstairs and I craft. I figured it's better than laying in bed and thinking about all the things I should get done. I get up and do none of the things I should and just at least enrich my mind and not drive myself crazy that I'm up in the middle of the night. And when I filmed this, it was the middle of the night. Thus, the really weird shadows. I forgot that when you film things in the middle of the night, you've got more shadows than you would, say, in the daytime. But an alarm went off to remind me to wake up my son, and yep, somewhere along the line I lost the shadowing part of the video. I don't know. It happens. I wasn't going to go back and refilm it. I like y'all, but I don't like you that much. Because this is a lot of coloring. This is a lot of ink going down on one piece of paper. In fact, the back of this is almost as pretty as the front. The purple, I probably should have sucked it up and used the really, really difficult purple combination that ends up being gorgeous. Like, there's a purple combination that uses blue that is hands down my favorite Copic purple combination. But it's a lot of work. You really gotta work the markers to make it work right. Like I said, the payoff is fantastic. This one's good. It's a little darker than I wanted. You lost all their facial features. It's okay. It's a little darker. Like I said, it's a little darker than I wanted. Yeah. No, I should have sucked it up and done the hard one with the great payoff, but live and learn. I promise at some point I will pull out the cool purple combination that uses the bright blue to make the purple work. You'll see that I'll film it and everything. You'll see that it really does take some work to make it work, but when you get it right, it's really a good color. I wish there was a better purple combination, but there's not. So okay, we've got the basic coloring done on all the little creeps. Now it's time to add shadows in front of them. And I just pulled out some neutral grays to add the shadows. I started with the mid-tone here, so I could establish my pattern without committing too heavily to the dark. This card gets dark, and it gets dark fast. As I've said before, when you're creating backgrounds or you're creating scenery in the back, it goes through an ugly phase. Like, there's an ugly phase to every card when you're using this much ink. This one's ugly phase was short-lived, but it started by putting the shadows streaming forward. And here's where I lost the video. I finished off the ground shadows, and you'll notice the creeps are suddenly significantly darker because I brushed some extra warm grays across everybody. Or I brushed some neutral 4 and neutral 2 across all of the creeps just to give them even more shadow and allow that bit of halo around their sides and the top of their head to show through. A shadowing expert, somebody who shades gorgeously, is going to say, this is not atomically correct to the backlighting. I don't care. It's a Halloween card. So here's the ugly phase. I knew the backlighting was going in. I put just a couple shades of yellow light down. And then I wanted to put them into darkness. And I knew I didn't like how the shading on the bottom, it still seemed too lit. So I actually took my W5 and filled in front of all the shading just to make the ground and the shadows seem uniformed. Now they're not clearly a shadow, now it's literally the shadow. And then I wanted to create the halo of darkness around them. And here's the ugly face. This one, like I said, it was short-lived. I came in with that W3 to finish off the darkness in the sky, ran into the yellow and pulled my yellows back out, and just kind of dropped them over the gray, and suddenly that unknown light source behind all the creeps made sense. You were asking what the light source is? I don't know. Maybe they've laid all their flashlights down behind them, and that's what's showing behind them. There we go. There's the story. I took that yellow and in the really big eyes made sure to pop the eyes out and realized, and while I was doing that, I realized I forgot to, the bolts, forgot to color them. Now, one of my favorite things about like seeing critters in the night is the glowing eyes. So from the very, very beginning, I knew I was going to pull out my white jelly pen. This one's dying. You're going to watch me struggle with it for a moment here, and then I get smart and grab another one. Don't fight a dying pen. Throw it away. Grab a new one. This one's probably been open for a couple years, and I keep trying to convince it wants to work, and it keeps telling me it doesn't. So I pulled out a better one and added in white for all the glowing eyes. It also added a little white to all the teeth because I love the idea that their teeth are glowing. Maybe that's me alone, but yeah, glowing teeth. But I love that all their little eyes are staring at you as if they're lit on their own. Kind of got that. That's why I don't think they're cute. I mean, they are cute, but I think they're more creepy. As Lizzie over at Oddball always says, they're creepy cute. Anyway, that's the gist of today's card. Just some heavily backlit critters all standing out and waiting for Halloween. I finished the card off by trimming it up and matting it with a little black cardstock and adding a fun Halloween sentiment to the top because it is Terror-ific. If you enjoy what you're seeing today, make certain you click the dragon to subscribe. If you want to see more things like this, give me a thumbs up and I'll know you're liking it. Thanks for joining me today, and happy Halloween card season making! Woo!